All right, Chris here with another Man with the Mic episode, and we're talking about the National. Coming up in just a couple of days. This is Monday. I'm going to post this up on Tuesday. We're heading out on Wednesday, so a perfect time to listen to this is going to be on your flight, in the car, in the cab, in the Uber, in the whatever. And I just want to say, like last year, I know I talked about it before, and it's wait a minute. What is this? Phone? This isn't a call-in show. How do we have a guest for a call-in show? Hold on, let me see who's out there waiting. Let's go ahead. Caller, go ahead.
Yeah, I would like 3 pepperoni pizzas and an extra large Diet Coke if you could do that for me.
You got Michelangelo, Raphael, Donatello, and Leonardo here. Kdub, leave it up to Mr. Kdub to find a way to call in to the LJ's Card Lounge. How we doing, Kyle?
Look, man, if I can't meet you at the National, I'm going to find a way to get on your dang podcast.
That's awesome, man. I'm so sorry you can't go. But I know you've had some awesome videos you've posted trying to make the positive out of every situation, just like you do in everything in your life. What are some things that, and obviously you're going to miss meeting the people, but just walking around or, would you have a strategy if you went? Like, I know what my strategy is. If you're going to the National and you didn't have a boot on your foot, like, what's your strategy? What can you share with the listeners or the viewers, whatever, of what they should do?
Yeah, man. Well, I've had this trip planned since like pre-COVID for my National. So I've been really gathering a lot of things when it comes to like how to go into National. I think you kind of spoke about this the other day, but I also heard Jimmy Mahan talk about it last night. But create a list of your biggest wants. So the big things that you want, because everyone's told me when you walk in, this isn't your normal everyday card show. This is the mecca of card shows. So if you don't have an idea of what you're looking for, it's easy to get overwhelmed. And then I got a great tip from the Channel Brothers on the High Five. They said actually either have pictures of the card or print out a picture of the card so that when you go to the tables, you can show the dealer. Because they're not going to know every single insert card you're looking for, especially for me searching for those 90s gems. Like, a lot of these guys are going to have no clue what I'm talking about. So, or if I'm looking for the Bishop Sankey 101, they're going to say, who? But if I have a picture of that, either on my phone or an actual picture, they'll know either they have that card or they don't. And then a lot of times what I was told is they'll know if they don't have it, they'll know where to find it. So they all connect with each other. Tables talk to tables. So, I saw that over here. You might look over there. And then another thing was get a map of the show, so that way you can kind of mark out the spots that you saw something, or maybe you made a connection with a guy that you wanted to go back and talk to later. So I think that's important. And then cell phone charger for your phone, external cell phone charger, water, and good shoes. Those are the things.
Yeah, hopefully it's a lot better cell reception this year than last year. Like I'm so mad that I missed Eloy. Like I would send him a text message and be like, "Hey, meet me over here," but he wouldn't get it for like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'd be there and gone. And so like he's the one person who's going to be there that I really, really want to meet. But I'm glad you brought up like taking a picture, because I have like 6 of this card.
Yeah.
And Mr. Bellinger's the hottest thing in baseball right now, but no one's talking about him because of this guy named Shohei Ohtani. But I am going to look for more copies of this exact card. Instead of just, hey, you can go up to somebody, do you have any Cody Bellinger cards? Yeah, man, they're over there. Hey, do you have this card? No, but I saw it over on booth 34 over there. They got a lot of modern baseball. You might want to check it out over there. That is such a good point.
Yeah.
They're gonna have water there, but it's gonna be like $14 to buy, and it's gonna be a 45-minute line. Unless, like last year, I happened to run into Midwest Fox Breaks Ben, and he let me ditch in line with him and
get yourself a Yeti.
Yeah. So and a book bag, right? Take around a book bag. See, I'm undecided. I want to take like 5 or 6 cards to maybe try to sell or trade. But also, like last year, I had to work the entire time. This year, I have one 15-minute meeting and one like party that I have to show my face and attend.
Okay.
And other than that, it's, I plan on having a beer with Ben, meeting up with Hecker, definitely hanging out with Eloy.
For sure.
Just, like Kelly's going to be up there. Like just like my crew that I talk to every day that I don't get to see. Like that's what I'm most excited. Just walking, just like you said, man, it is so overwhelming. Have a plan. But if you're gonna write down like players, which players you gonna write down?
Who, for me?
Yeah.
Oh, if it were me, I had 3 MJ cards that I was looking for because I collect MJ only in the 45 jersey. So there are 3 kind of cards that the Topps Finest, the Intense Skybox emotion insert, and then the it's like the MB basketball gold insert. Those are the 3 that I was looking for. And then I was just that was basically what I was at the show for right there. Other than, like you said, which is the big piece, connecting with all these guys on Twitter that I've never met. Like you and I, we dialogue a lot. Like you are the guy who started me in the ice plunge. Like that's you and I. We don't just talk about like cards, but like it would have been great to just connect with you, Ben. I've met Eloy before, but I would hang out with Eloy any day of the week. Hecker, Murphys were going to be there. Jimmy Mahan, the Channel Brothers, Mojo Sports, Card Collector. I mean, the list goes on and on of the people that I was really, really excited to meet there. But, it is what it is.
Do you think you'll make it to Cleveland next year?
I mean, I got flight credit, so that's my goal.
Cleveland's like 2 hours for me. My aunt lives 10 minutes away, so that ought to be a good time. One thing I did want to mention too is one of the biggest regrets I had last year. I've said this on other podcasts, but I got a feeling more people are going to listen to this one than the previous ones. Man, it's storming pretty good here. Can you hear the thunder outside?
I can't, but
anyways, the very first day I was walking around, I saw an old school throwback, authentic John Elway autographed helmet, like the old school blue ones. And I was like, it was $450. I'm like, all right, that's like most of my budget. But I was like, I'm going to take a lap. If I don't see anything else, I'm going to come back and get it. Took my lap, came back to get it, and it was gone.
Oh, man.
And it's a year later, and I'm still like salty about it. Like, I should have bought it. Like, I've sold so many cards the last 2 weeks just to afford. So hopefully I can get that here in Chicago. I can find that. But if you see something that you really, really want, don't assume it's going to be there later. Because just think of how many people are there, how many booths are there, how many other people are going to want that item. Because I haven't seen an authentic one around like anywhere. You can get the generics. And that thunder just like shook my house.
I heard that one.
The custom mades and stuff are all around, but the authentics you can't just find anywhere.
Yeah. And then another thing I thought about, for people who are traveling like me, I was coming for the West Coast. What I was going to do is I was going to pack a flat rate medium box in the post office. And I was just going to fill it as the show went on. So I was going to have it at my hotel, Airbnb. I was just going to fill it, and then I was going to seal it, and then I was just going to give, whoever, you or Hecker, or I think it was Ashley Murphy was going to do it for me. I was just going to give her the box to mail when she got home because they were going to drive. But people who have, transportation other than an airplane, they can store that little box for you and then they can ship it out for you. That way you're not worrying about carting, a box full of cards along with all your luggage on the way home. So, and those are free at the post office. You just go to the post office, they'll give it to you for free.
That is genius.
Yeah.
But you know what you got to do after a long day of walking around, man?
What's that?
I'm not going to have my ice pod there. I'm going to have to take a cold shower.
Go shower.
Like, I've gotten Claire into taking ice baths now. Like she ran like 1.5 miles the other day. She's like, my legs hurt. She sat down for like 7 minutes. I was so proud of her.
In the ice bath?
Yeah, I'm up to 10 minutes in there, and it's to the point where in the Wim Hof book that I got you on, they're like you feel the tingling in your toes and your fingers. Like I'm to that point. Like I'm up to 10 minutes at least 6 times a week, usually every day. I don't think I'm going to get in today. I don't know if I'll have time tonight or not because I don't like to do it right before bed. I like to do it more in the morning, but I didn't get a chance to do it this morning. But man, what are your thoughts? Like, let's get off the national real quick. I know you got to dip in a minute, but let's just talk real quick about the ice pod and then your YouTube real quick. Like what are you said you were climbing into a river before your Achilles injury?
Well, actually, you started me on the cold showers. So I got into those in like April when I was training for that half marathon. And I've been doing it ever since. My wife does it. My son, Bam Bam Cam, he's doing it now. So I'm still doing the cold showers. Unfortunately, I'm unable to. I was getting in the river every morning at 6 a.m. With another buddy here in town. And for me, it was the best thing. It was the best way to start my day.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
when you talk about like your energy level, especially people who aren't morning people, you getting that cold to start your day, it wakes you up, and then it keeps you awake. It's not like you crash at the end of the day. Like it stimulates your body somehow. And then I really like it for the stress piece. Like you're inducing controlled stress on your body. So that way, when you're in uncontrolled stress situations, your body is not reacting like super high strung, like anxiety, that sort of stuff. So I really like it for the mental health side of it as well. But also, I just think it's a great way to start your day.
I completely agree on all effects. I think it's for me, it's mentally strong.
Yeah,
Like it is really hard for me to get in. I got 4 stages. I get just like my legs in, then I get down
okay.
on my knees, then I get down on my butt, then I move,
Yeah,
up to over my shoulder. So each stage is like 20 seconds. I count to 20, and then I take a deep breath and I go to the next stage. And it's like, all right, the next, it's not so bad, it's not so bad. Then it's the next stage.
yep.
And it's sitting in there for 10 minutes. Usually I close my eyes, and they
Mm,
say that's when like the blood's flowing out, it's constricting your
yep.
body, flowing more to your head. I have like great ideas while I'm in there,
It
and I try to remember them, or I usually have a timer on my phone, or Claire's hanging out with me or something, and we're just chit chatting and talking. It's something that I can enjoy with my kids too, because like Cooper will get in, he'll get his little self in, like I'm cold, and jump out, but he has a fun time doing it as well. But the see, I started getting up at 5:30 every morning. We
nice.
call ourselves the dad bod group.
Yeah,
Like it's literally my kids' friends, their dads. We all go to the park and work out at 6 a.m. every morning.
nice.
So that I come home, I take my shower, then I take my ice bath,
Yeah, yeah,
and then I go to work. And I don't need that cup of coffee first thing
yep.
in the morning. I can wait till like 11, or the
Absolutely.
post the afternoon, 2
Crash.
o'clock. My mom called it the 2 o'clock Pepsi. Every day at
Yeah.
2 o'clock, she needed a 2 o'clock Pepsi. And so I've gotten like off pop and everything, just get that 2 o'clock, little energy boost. And it's not even needed every time. Because like you said, it wakes you up, gets your blood
Yeah.
flowing. To me, it gets me mentally stimulated. I'm ready to go. Like before this, I didn't get to work till like 10. I'd work from home for 8 to 10. It was not very productive. I'm there like 8:15. I get more done in those first 2 hours than like the next six. It's incredible, man.
And I love, like, obviously you and I being sports people, like the competition piece of it. And I'll explain it to you here. Like the cold is always going to beat you. Like eventually your body's
Yes.
going to go on a hypothermia and you're going to die. The cold's always going to win out.
You're gonna die.
However, for those 3 to 10 minutes, it's you and the cold existing in the same space in competition with one another. And I've never had like, like Zen moments, or like I've never done deep meditation, but like when I was in that water, when I was in that cold, it was a Zen moment. Like it was just you and the water existing. Like there was no time, there was no space. It was just it was a really interesting thing. So I encourage you, if you're thinking about it, try it. And don't just try it for a day and be like, oh, I got cold. Give it 2, 3 weeks before you actually say, it's not for me. Because I promise you, it's here. It's physically, it's spiritually, there's all those things encompassed in the cold. It's crazy, and I know you guys are probably thinking I'm some weirdo, but kudos to you, man. Because I wasn't a believer, and now I'm a believer because of you, man. You're the one who turned me on to it.
And my buddy Joe, that's one of the dad bod groups. He
Yeah.
turned me on to the book, The Wim Hof Method, and
Yep. Yep.
I don't like to read, but I like to listen to books, so I listened
Okay.
to it, and I bought, I drank the Kool-Aid.
Yep.
And after drinking the Kool-Aid, I made you some. I poured the packet in. I got my cup of sugar, added the water, stirred it up, sent it to Washington.
Hey, man, I do the breathing methods. I do the cold,
Yeah.
man. I mean, the biggest thing to me when someone's trying to sell me something that's going to be good for me is when there's no cost to it. Like he is making no money off
None.
what he's selling, breathing and the cold. I have access to all those things. And so when someone pitches me something for free, that's when I listen. When they're like, oh, it's $20 a month, I'm like, oh, hold up, hold up, hold up. But when they're like, nah, I'm not charging you nothing. It's free. It's just something you can do that's good for you. Okay, I'll take a shot at it. And like I said, it's been really, really beneficial for me. And it was, it's like one of my biggest heartbreaks outside of the national was I was really like loving getting up in the morning, just going down to the water, getting in the river, being in nature. It was a good thing. So hopefully I get back to it once I can start walking again.
Yeah. And you're talking about things you love, man. And I know you love this new YouTube series you put out. Literally before I got on here, I was sitting in this chair scrolling through my shorts, and it came up. He goes,
Oh yeah.
when your family wants to go to the water park, but you just had the Achilles, and you got your Charlotte Hornets jersey on, and you
Oh
turn
yeah.
around. I'm like, all right. So you gotta tell us about this recovery, I don't know, push program. I'm not really sure what you're calling it
Yeah.
on the YouTube or whatever socials else you're putting it on, but
Yeah, I call it redeem your recovery.
yes, that.
And it wasn't. It was kind of my wife. She was kind of like, "Hey, I want you to do something out of this. I don't just sit and watch Netflix and YouTube. Not that that's you. It's okay to do that in your recovery, but also, there's moments where you can grow as a person, as a spouse, as a dad, and there's also challenges. And I know for me, being able to share my story and then also hearing other people's story, because I'm not the only one who's done it on YouTube. There's lots of other channels. Actually, I just shouted out a channel today. I think it'll benefit someone who's in the struggle, because it's not an easy process. Like, all the videos aren't like me, like, singing the Little Mermaid every day. Some of them are the reality of, like, look, I miss my son's birthday party. Like, I was there, but I wasn't really there, and that was hard. I'm 4 weeks in and I still can't put any weight on my leg. That's hard. That's challenging, especially for an active physical person like myself. But there's also been great growing moments for my wife and I. There's been great growing moments just for me. There's been learning moments for me. I just think there's so much that can happen through your recovery process, and a lot of times, we kind of miss that. So my goal is to put that out there for anyone and everyone who may be in this time, or maybe in the future they find it and they're in the time as well. So
Yeah, I mean, when you called it redeem your recovery, the first thing I thought about was, I wonder if the redemption date is passed. Like, is Panini gonna redeem it? Like, is Topps gonna send him his Achilles back? Like, that's the first thing I thought of, was how hilarious is that? Is the
uh,
last thing of it is your doctor sending your Achilles back, but
yep,
it's past the due date or
that's
whatever.
the
You
expiration date.
scratched
Yep.
off the code and you weren't able to redeem it. That's like literally the first thing, and I
That's
started dying
that's
laughing.
that's content right there, man. I might have to borrow that. That's content right there.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think of it as a redeemed way. Then I know you're a man of God, and I
Yeah,
started
just
thinking about that, and
yeah, make it right, man. Like, I want to do it right. I mean, we're all put into hard situations for reasons and purposes, and I want to do this right, and I want to grow through it. I want to grow out of it, and my hope is to help somebody else grow as well. So,
all right, man. This might be the first lounge I've ever done with my hat on forwards.
oh, well, I got it backwards, so we're good.
I know, but like my dog chewed mine up, so
Oh,
I was like,
geez.
I can't do that because
Well,
my brother watches these when I do them live, and I usually do it with my buddy Josh, and he's like, he calls us the backwards hat crew because we're just straight lounging, and it's the LJ's card
got
lounge,
it,
buddy.
got it.
So I appreciate you hanging. Like, I'm not sure how you even got my phone number to call. No, I'm just kidding. We text all the time, but
Don't ask questions, man. I know my ways around the internet. I get there's a lot of
Kyle
things. There's a lot
somehow
of things on
dials
YouTube.
in.
There's a lot of things on YouTube. Teaches you lots of things.
He dials in. We had some national talk, which is what we wanted to do.
For
Make
sure.
sure you have a plan. You
Yep.
have water, maybe like a granola bar or something.
Yeah.
Comfortable shoes. Don't wear flip flops. Wear socks. If you want a belt bag, you want your book bag, you want whatever. Like, no one's gonna care.
Yeah.
If you think you got a dumb shirt on, no one's gonna care. Like, Hecker said, he's got 4 custom shirts made for 4 different days. Like, Shay and Jen have custom shirts made. I'm probably gonna have to wear my LJ shirt, so I'm gonna be there for work. But like, do you really think anybody cares? Like, if you have on, like, I wore a Pokemon swim shirt to the pool the other day. I'm like, oh, it's a party shirt, whatever. I got like 15 compliments. It's one of those. It's like, I'm kind of self-conscious. Like, nobody cares what you look like. Nobody cares what you're doing. All they care is that you're there and you're having a good time. So
Yeah, and
just go enjoy yourself.
I would say, as much as fun as it is to share this stuff on social media, like, just be present with people, like the people that you are going to be engaging and interacting with. Like, for me, in those moments, the phone is great, but put it away. Just have those conversations with people that you do interact with on social media, but you get to have that face-to-face time with. So, something I always challenge my students with, and I'll challenge anybody who's listening to this for 20 minutes, like, be present in that time. Yeah, post that stuff later, post the selfies later, but in that moment, man, if you meet up with Ivan, watch the breaks, man, just have that conversation. If you meet up with, Chris Gold Line Cards, man, just have that conversation. Be in the moment. Take the selfie afterwards. If you meet up with Mikey B, Tracy Hackler, whoever it is, man, just be present in those moments with those people.
Oh, I'm meeting up with Tracy, and we're talking some Broncos. We already
Oh man,
got a meeting set up. So
look forward to hearing that conversation.
yeah, man. All right, well, I'm gonna cut this off. I know your wife's about to come pick you
Yep.
up, and I got to get bedtime for the
For
kids.
sure,
So I
man.
appreciate you lounging with me tonight, man. Do you have one more word of wisdom before we leave? Are you good?
Man, just have the time of your life. If you're going to the national, have a fun time. Like, don't make it about anything other than just the joy and the beauty of the hobby, but have fun.
Have fun, hobby your way. If you're not enjoying it, what are you doing here? Hey,
Yeah.
it's Chris and Kyle from LJ's Card Lounge. Thanks for joining us.
Peace.